You tuned in to the 7-Day Theory. Hard body, hard spirit.
Three returned home as normal and said nothing to any member of law enforcement or to the Coast Guard until at least 11 p.m. at night on July the 4th. We also know that based on the mother's testimony that there were no Snapchats from the day, which was very odd for her son. We also know that text messages were deleted. We know that when she was tracking the phone, Life 360 said the phone was one place and Snapchat said it was another place. We know that the boy that had the phone did not voluntarily turn it over, call first. He had to be found through their own investigation. We know that based on witnesses' account, the so-called friends were seen on July the 5th, that Sunday, having breakfast together like nothing had happened. They were not out there searching for their so-called friend. We know that the so-called friends deleted their social media, deactivated their accounts, and scrubbed it clean if the allegations are correct. We know that the young man that had the car at his house did not willingly turn over the keys. At first he said that he did not have the keys. He didn't know where they were. Then after being pressed by the father, he finally turned over the keys. This is all very suspicious activity. We know that based on an audio recording and some video that Nolan Wells can be heard saying, "Give me my freaking keys." Excuse me, "Give me my freaking phone." And there's been two different versions. Some said he said, "Give me my freaking phone," or some say he said, "Give me my MF phone." Regardless, he was asking or demanding his phone. Someone had his phone who did not have permission to have his phone. So the first thing I see, the simplest thing I see, is who had his phone and why, and was that theft of the phone? Sometimes we look at the largest case, we try to get to murder, but the person that took his phone committed a crime right there. There are witnesses to who took that phone. If an affidavit is signed, an arrest warrant could be signed by a judge in Mississippi to go after that person that had that phone unlawfully. We know, based on his own words, Nolan Wells' words while he was alive, he did not give whoever had that phone permission to have that phone. So was that theft? I think if an affidavit is signed, if it was presented to me when I was a judge, I would have signed an arrest warrant for the person for theft of that phone, based on what I've heard. It'd have to be an affidavit format, but if it was presented to me, an affidavit format from law enforcement, I would sign the arrest warrant for, at least at this point, theft of the man's phone. We know who had it. We know who didn't report it to the family. The family had to go find it, and we know that Nolan Wells said give it back to him, and evidently it was not given back to him. Why was that? All of the other things I've stated, you piece it together. Is there enough right now for arrest warrants for murder? That is a good question. I do know at this point there should have been search warrants signed by a judge. Evidence should have been presented to a judge by now. We are nearly 7 days after July the 4th, when he was first reported missing. There should have been evidence submitted by Jackson County law enforcement agents, the sheriff's department specifically, presented to a judge so that search warrants could be signed by the judge. And there needs to be, or should have been, someone questioning the young men, the three so-called friends, and others, and their social media accounts need to be searched by now. Or at least a search warrant should have been issued for the appropriate entities to give the law enforcement access to the social media information. That should have been done by now. I'm not telling you what I imagine. I'm telling you what the process usually is when you're trying to do a thorough investigation. And based on what's revealed from a thorough investigation, I do believe once the evidence is secured, it's going to lead, and it should lead, to the arrest of one or more individuals for the murder of Nolan Wells. All of the actions are very suspicious, and right now they lead one to believe that one or more persons could have been involved with the death of Nolan Wells. Right now we have a lot of unsworn testimony, but once that is put into affidavit format and there is corroborating evidence through social media, computers, or otherwise, I believe that at that point there will be enough evidence for a judge to sign an arrest warrant. I think critical evidence that's missing right now are the results of the autopsy the state's autopsy and the independent autopsy, that's going to be critical information. And that alone, or that in connection with what's already known, may be enough to lead to an arrest.
Nobody reported an accident or accidental drowning when it comes to the Nolan Wells case. What up, my people? Hard body, hard spirit. Check this. This former judge, he was the judge for 6 years, and shout out to this judge because he got pushed out of his position because he was speaking on racial issues. Shout out to that judge. Big shout out to that judge for standing up for his people and still doing that today. Now, he reveals the truth that, yeah, there should be warrants signed, there should be arrests made, there should be people that are being questioned, but it's not happening. Why? I think you know why. I don't even have to say it. If this was a white female or a white male, 18-year-old, that was found dead after being in the presence and on a trip with 4 other black friends, this shit would be all over the national news. The president would be calling the black friends thugs. We know this. Trump would be calling, if the friends was black, Trump would be calling the black friends thugs. He would have spoke on this. But because the victim is black, nobody else cares but us. They don't care to have justice for this. They don't. The judges, the police, they're trying to close up this case and sweep everything under the rug. And it's been happening to us for decades, for years, for hundreds of years here in America. You know how many of us been unalived and we haven't seen justice because of the racial dynamics in America, because of the racism in America? Too many to count. Too many to count. Where we have been unlawfully, unjustly unalived for not posing a threat to people, but for like Emmett Till, but for looking at a white woman. He got unalived for looking at a white woman. Or for Ahmaud Arbery for literally taking a jog around his neighborhood. He got unalived. For taking a jog, for walking around. These are the things that happen. I am living proof of the racism that still exists in America. Last year I was walking 2 days in a row. I got called the N-word just for walking down my street. Some white people in the car drove by. N-word. Of course they ain't stopped because they're cowards. You know that. But this judge reveals the truth about there is so much suspicious activity in this case, and everybody sees it. We're not, the people online and on YouTube and me, we're not police. We're not trained. We're not detectives. But we can see that there is foul play involved in this case, and we're not even in that field. So how the hell the police don't see it? How the hell the detectives don't see it? Before they even had the autopsy, they said, oh, it wasn't no foul play involved. This was just the accidental drowning, or this was an accident or whatever. What? Y'all ain't even do an autopsy yet. So how do you know what happened to Nolan Wells when his body wasn't even examined as to how he was unalived? How? And then his friends did not join the search party to look for their so-called friend. They didn't join the search party. They was out eating breakfast or dinner the next day. Not a care in the world. Didn't care to get his phone back to his parents. It had to be tracked down. Didn't care to get his keys in his car back to his parents. It had to be tracked down. They deactivated their social media accounts. And when the parents got the phone, they found out there were deleted text messages. No Snapchat recordings. The parents got the phone less than 24 hours from when he went missing. The parents claim that their son Nolan is very active on social media and Snapchat, but there was not even one video clip, or there was nothing on Snapchat, as if it had all been deleted, just like those messages. This case shows you, this case and others show you how and why they don't care about us. Michael Jackson made a song about it. Tupac made a song about it. They don't care when we unalive each other, and they don't care when they unalive us. They don't care. They do the bare minimum. The bare minimum. And in this case, they're not even doing the bare minimum. They're actually trying to cover this up. They're trying to act like this was just he was left on the line on the island alone, and somehow he just died. What? But his phone and keys was on the boat that he came on. And the female that he was talking to said, we had to cut our conversation short so he can get back on the boat with his friends that he came with. So you mean to tell me you're not questioning or arresting or serving warrants for the three friends that he came with? Wyatt, Warren, Eric. Warren's mom is a judge. Come on now. And everybody and people, and there's people online, oh, I don't know if this is a racial issue. I don't know if race has anything to do with it. Race has everything to do with it, because they're not doing their job, because the victim is black. Whatever reason, if it comes out that they unalived Nolan, his three white friends, I don't know yet if they're racist or if the motivations for unaliving him was racially involved. I don't know yet. It's too early to call. But as far as right now, as far as how the investigation is going, it is definitely, for sure, 100% racially motivated. Like I said in the beginning of the video, if this was a white woman or a white female that was around a bunch of black men, or if this was a white man with a bunch of black friends, the president of the United States will be calling them all thugs and dangerous. That's what will be happening. If y'all don't see the how they put stereotypes on us and call us certain names before the evidence is even out, before it even goes to trial, but when it comes to us being the victims of white people, it's looked at like, oh well, they had to do that, or no, they're innocent until proven guilty. It's looked at as a totally different way. That's why racism is still active and alive in America, because the perceptions are off. Young black males are looked at as violent, aggressive, right? But young white males are not looked at as the same. They actually get the benefit of the doubt most of the time. And that's what needs to change. That's what needs to change. We need to treat everybody. There should not be no stereotypes or no preconceived notions about what people do when it comes to race. White people unalive people, black people unalive people, Chinese people unalive people, Arab people unalive people. There are bad and good people in every race. So why is it always us that are called thugs, that are called dangerous, that are called savages, right? Why is it always us? But if it's a white person that did a crime, they get the benefit of the doubt. They don't get unalived when they unalive other people. They get taken into custody. They might give them a Big Mac from McDonald's on the way to the jail. Knock it off. Let me know what y'all think in the comments. Like, share, subscribe. 7 Day. Keep your head up and your eyes open. Membership's $1.99 a month. If you do sign up for the membership, I will shout your name out in every video. Shout out to John Paul. Keep your head up and your eyes open. Mouth.
You're now listening to the 7 Day Theory. Hard body, hard soul, hard